Guys, you are not going to believe what is in my garage. Actually, you might believe it, but either way, it's exciting. Check this out. Okay, so it's a Toyota Highlander, which for most people are like, nice, it's an SUV. But for me, it's the beginnings of a really cool partnership. South Point Toyota has officially asked me to be a content creator and a social media manager for them on a week-by-week basis. So what that means is I get to take their really cool cars, take photos of them, take videos with them, and essentially just practice doing what I'm doing, and they are providing an opportunity for me to do that. So this is the beginning for me of something really, really cool. Some of the things I've been asking myself is, why am I doing this vlog and what is it going to be about? Ultimately, I want to use the Car Creative channel to teach people how to take great photos and videos of their cars. So I'd love to do some behind the scenes videos, tutorials, how-tos where I can like dive into why I set the settings the way I do or why you shoot something the way you do. Just because it's fun, and if I don't know, you don't know, we can learn together and it'd be a heck of a lot of fun. So with this Highlander, I'm gonna try two things, because again, I gotta kill it for these guys so that they keep hiring me or I can get more work. The first thing I wanna try is rolling shots, which means sitting in a vehicle and taking photos of a car that's also moving. And what are the settings for that? How do you do it? Why do you do it that way? And then secondly, I wanna try light painting, which I've only tried one time on this photo, and it worked out pretty good, but it's kind of complicated, so to do it on a car is going to be like pretty intense for me. So if you don't know what these things are and you want to learn, stick around and we can learn together. Okay, so we are out shooting a Highlander for South Point Toyota, and we're going to try and do some driving shots here, which is a little sketchy. I got the suction mounts on the front of the car so I can show you guys what I'm doing. The settings I have is my shutter speed is at 1/200th of a second. My aperture is at 5.6 and I have 0 ISO. We've got an ND filter on the front of it so I can control all those settings. So I guess you guys can see how it works and how risky it is, and if you ever want to do a driving shot yourself, now you know. Okay, so that was a super short clip on how I ended up doing rolling shots. So some of the settings that I had on my camera was my shutter speed was at 1/60th or 1/200th of a second. That way I could get the motion blur from the road and the tires to actually make it look like it was in motion. My aperture I had set around 4 aperture or 5.6, so that I had enough depth in the image. And then my ISO was set to 100. So something that was really important was using a neutral density filter so that I could set my settings exactly where I want them and then turn that neutral density filter to get my exposure levels set perfectly. So that's how I did that one. And as you could see, it was a lot of fun hanging out the window, and my hair was everywhere. But it was a ton of fun. And so the guys at South Point were a ton of fun to work with. They were super accommodating and I really appreciated working with them. So next, what I want to do is let's try some light painting. So let's bring the car back in the garage and let's see what we can make. I think it has air-conditioned seats. It's amazing. It's hot in here, so like it helps. Okay, so technically when you do light painting, it's supposed to be like pitch dark or just like really dark, so that you just paint the light in. And for those of you who don't know what I'm going to use to paint lights, called the Westcott Ice Light 2. Let me show you what it is. pretty much a lightsaber, but you can use it to like paint things. It was really bright. Anyways, let's give it a go. Fun PTO. Fun. So what you have to do with a light painting is you gotta set a really long exposure so that you can paint the light in and it won't be seen in the shot. So I've got my camera settings on like 30 seconds and an aperture of 9 and an ISO of 100 so that we're not adding any noise into the image. But because it's still like daylight outside, I'm using an ND filter to drop the exposure so that I can paint the light back in. So hopefully I can show you what I mean by that. Okay, the first pass wasn't bad. We'll just do another one and we'll stitch all the things together in post in Photoshop, and I'll just show you what each image looks like and then what the final product is. It takes a really long time for these images to process, so in between I'll kind of tell you what I'm doing. It's really important to take a base image so that you can kind of just paint in the parts of light that you want. So I'm painting in, you know, the driver's side, then some of the details, and make sure the back of the seats, you can see those. And I just want to hit every different pocket of the car that I want to see, essentially. So that's vlog number 2. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial slash whatever this was. Thanks for joining. If you made it this far, again, really appreciate it. If you learned something, let me know. If you know more about light painting than I do, please teach me what I missed and where I went wrong. But until next time, peace. This thing's supposed to drop. Pressing the hold button on the key and it was supposed to be an epic ending. It didn't work. I'll just do this. Whoa. Okay, where's the button? Yep. Okay. Till next time.